again from Berkshire Guitar Amplifier Repairs. It's an exciting day for me today. I've just had my first COVID-19 jab, being an old git these days, and I feel great, no problems whatsoever, and I hope to get my other one in a couple of months or 3 months time, so happy days. On the bench today we have a Fender HotRod Deluxe Mark III with the customer saying that it has a kind of crackling, fried eggy sort of noise. I've heard that noise many times before, quite a common fault on amps, and it will either be an easy fix this today or quite a protracted one. So without further ado, let's get the amp where you can see it, turn it on and see if you and I agree that the customer is right in this diagnosis of noise. Right, here we go, nice clean looking amp. I see he's got all the controls marked up where he wants them with the green dots. So let's go ahead and turn it on and see if we can hear what he's hearing. Power on, and then standby, and let's have a little listen as it warms up. Bit of hiss so far, nothing too bad. Okay, I can hear that fried eggy sort of noise, I call it, kicking in. I hope you can. I'll put the camera a bit close to the grill cloth for you. Okay, I can definitely hear that. That's I've heard it 100 times before. So we are either going to be very lucky with this amp and fix it in short order, or it could be complicated, because there are 2 or 3 things this could be. It could be a valve. I can hear that crackling away beautifully now. It could be a valve. Or it could be a resistor, a noisy resistor, or a noisy capacitor. It's usually one of those 3 things. Resistor, capacitor are harder to find, and a valve is relatively easy. So I'm going to flip the amp round, take the back off. We'll have a quick look inside, and then I'll show you how to fairly quickly diagnose where this kind of noise is coming from. Behaving itself nicely now. Listen to that. I've got it up on the bench now, and I've removed the rubber vibration material from the first 2 preamp valves, so I can hear it nicely performing for us there. I hope you can. So I want to show you how to diagnose this problem. What you want to do is to find out where it's occurring. Is it occurring in this first preamp stage, the second preamp stage? Is it in the phase splitter, or is it a power valve problem? It's unlikely to be a power valve problem with that kind of noise. And the way I diagnose that is literally to pull these valves one by one and see if the noise goes away. So if I pull this first valve and the noise goes away, we know it's in the first stage here. If it doesn't go away, we know it's nothing to do with the first stage. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull that now. I'm not going to bother turning the amp off. They can be quite stiff, these valves. Okay. Oh, well, that's nice. Listen to that racket. It's still performing for us with V1 removed. By the way, I've noticed that V1 is a 12AY7, not an ECC83 or 12AX7, and the reason for that is, if you own one of these amps, you'll know they have insanely loud gain, and you can't get the things off 1 without annoying the neighbours. If you put a 12AY7 in the V1 position, that reduces the gain by about 40% and allows you to use much more of the usable range on the volume. Don't put an ECC81 or an ECC82 in there. Even though they're lower gain than the ECC83, they are different valves to the ECC83. So the 12AY7 is the low gain version of an ECC83. So use that one. Okay, so it's not in the first stage. Let's pull the second valve now and see if the noise vanishes, especially as it's being nice for us and performing. So I'll pull this one. Oh, that's gone quiet. That's gone very quiet. So without a doubt then, our noise is either in this valve, which I'm hoping, or it's in the circuitry, which I'm not hoping, associated with the V2 position. So let me go and grab a valve, an ECC83, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, here we are. I've got ECC83 from my box, so I'm going to pop that in. I think I'll just turn the standby off for this in case I misalign the pins going in live. There we go. Pop that in there. I'm hoping now if we turn on we won't hear any noise. I'll just wait for that valve to warm up. Then I'll pop the 12AY7 back in. Sounding good so far? Not a peep. So what we have there is a noisy JJ ECC83. I'll pop the 12AY7 back in. There we go, turn on again, standby. I'll just go and get my guitar. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to plug the guitar in. A bit buzzy because I'm standing right next to the amp. Nice, loud, and the volume's on about halfway. We would be on about 2 if we didn't have that 12AY7 in there. So that's a lovely quick fix. The customer will be pleased. The price of a valve plus 15-20 minutes of time, and that's how you diagnose noise and crackle on an amp. If it hadn't been that valve, we would have pulled this valve, and that would almost certainly have cured it, and it would have been either this valve here, the phase splitter, or some component around that part of the circuit. It's the valve 65% of the time, 75%, it's hard to say. The other time it's a noisy resistor, and the way I cure that is to use a freezer spray and spray around the area and see if the sound disappears, and then as it warms up the sound will come back again. Then by sound of course I mean the crackling, and then it's a question of spraying components and trying to eliminate and then narrowing it down to that capacitor or that resistor and changing it. I've done that many times. It can lead you a merry dance, and you can spend a couple of hours tracking down the noisy component. But we got lucky today, all's good. I'll probably just check the bias on the power tubes for him, although I suspect they'll be okay, and put the back on. Job done. Well, there we go, quite a quick fix today. Didn't take too long, and so I didn't have to get involved in tracking down noisy resistors and capacitors. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about how to diagnose a problem stage by stage by stage, and pulling the valve is just a great way of isolating the troublesome stage in an amp. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.